Hey, what's up everybody? It's David McGill. Now, in this video, I want to do a case study on how I maximize the profits of my trucks and how you can do the same thing. Now, in previous videos where I've posted that I've done, multiple loads in a day, I'll get comments and emails from people who will say things like, oh, that's not true. That's impossible. You must be running illegal. Well, those people are assuming that these loads that I'm talking about are traditional live load, live unloads that, might take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to get loaded and then another 2 to 3 hours to be unloaded. So I agree, if that was the case, then yeah, it would be pretty difficult to do more than one of those loads in a day and still comply with the hours of service regulations. But that's in fact not the case with the loads that I'm describing. So I'm actually going to break down, what type of loads these are. Also, how you can do, how I use, some creative thinking to do sometimes $2,200 to $2,300 a day in one truck legally. And, how you can do the same thing if you find, these type of loads. Now, a lot of people out there who've been driving for a while, I assume that if you've been driving for a while that you're well aware of the different type of loads that are out there, but based on some of the comments and emails that I'm getting, it seems like a lot of people, no matter how long they've been in the trucking industry, they've only seen one type of load, so one thing. So it's easy for them to say, oh, that's not possible, that's not true. Like, I've been driving for 20 years and I've never seen that kind of money. Well, this video hopefully will shed some light for you guys out there to see like what is actually possible, like what type of loads are available. Now, I was trying to figure out like where these loads ranked in my favorite loads that I've run so far, and I couldn't give it number one just because of a few other things, but I'll definitely say this is top 3. And what I'll do in later videos, I'll shoot a later video where I break down the other 2, so some of my favorite loads. Now, full disclosure, I will not be sharing the broker that I get these loads from, or also who the customer is that we're moving these loads for. So, before you leave a comment, just know hopefully for obvious reasons, you guys understand why I won't be disclosing that information. But since I'm on the topic of comments, please, if you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and also leave a comment. Even if it's a simple comment like a hey, thanks, or nice information, or it doesn't have to be positive. If it's something you don't agree with, go ahead and point that out in the comment section also. It's just the more engagement that I get on these videos, the more it helps YouTube spread the message to other people in the trucking community. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could help me share the love and give these videos a thumbs up and also leave comments. So like I said earlier, these loads aren't a traditional live load, live unload. These loads are actually drop and hook. Now, if you're unfamiliar with drop and hook, that is when you use your truck to move other people's trailers for them, other customers' trailers. So, you'll just hook up to their trailer, take it from one location to the other one. You'll drop it off there, and, oftentimes you'll pick up another trailer at that same location and deliver it back to, the starting point. Now, just a couple details about this particular customer that I like to service. The delivery times, there is no set delivery time. I just have to have these trailers delivered at the location by 5 a.m. the next day. So if I have a load that picks up at 12 noon today, that trailer just has to be delivered at the location by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that actually gives me a lot of flexibility to maximize my truck and get that load delivered. So in this example, I'm going to show y'all like how I would do 3 loads for this customer in one day. Now, load number 1, the pickup is 12 noon. So what that means is, in this case, since it's a drop and hook, I'll pick up this already preloaded trailer. By the time my driver gets to the yard, to the customer's location, this trailer is already loaded. So we'll hook up. He'll drive out, anywhere from 125 miles, and some of the farthest locations are up to 250 miles to the delivery. But in this example, I'm going to show you just 3 of the shorter trips. So like I said, we'll pick the trailer up at 12, and then we'll drive out 125 miles to the location to drop that trailer off. Once we get there and we unhook that trailer, we'll have to hook up to a loaded trailer, an empty trailer, and take that empty trailer back to the starting point. Now, this is only a 250 mile round trip. And with the disconnecting of the trailer, the drop and hook, it's actually a double drop and hook, because we have to drop the trailer a couple of different times to move it around before we can head back. So that's usually about a 30-minute process. So a driver basically is driving 250 miles round trip for $725. Now, because that trip is so short and there's not a whole lot of work involved and there's no wait time at the shipper or the receiver, he's able to get back and do a second load the exact same way, but going to a different location. But the second load, the trailer may not be ready until 1600 or 4 p.m. But by the time he's done with load number 1 and he gets back to the customer's yard to drop off the empty trailer, his second trailer is ready to go now. So he'll drop the empty one, connect to the second loaded trailer, and then drive another 125 miles or so to the second location, swap out the loaded trailer for the empty trailer, and then come on back home and drop off that empty trailer at the customer's yard. Now, at that point, that driver is running pretty close to being out of hours, out of drive time. So depending on how his clock is looking, I may have him pick up the empty trailer. Pick up the third loaded trailer from the yard when he's done with his second load, and take it and park it back at my secured parking lot at my yard. Or if he doesn't have enough time, I'll just have him, he'll just drop off his second trailer and then just take the truck on back to the yard. Now, when he gets back to the yard, driver number 2, he comes, hops in the truck, and if he doesn't have his trailer already, he goes to the customer and picks up his loaded trailer. Or if he does have the trailer already at the yard because of driver number 1, then he'll just head straight on out to the third delivery. Now again, he just has to have this trailer delivered by 5 a.m. Anytime before 5 a.m., we're all good. So he may have a little bit longer drive than the driver number 1. So he might have to go to a location that's 150 miles away. So a total round trip of 300 miles. And usually that'll probably pay about the same as the first 2 loads of another $725. So driver number 2, who's doing this third load, is only going to drive 300 miles round trip, and he's going to have about a 30-minute drop and hook time with switching out the trailers. So for the total day, we might have started at 12 noon, but then we're done sometime early the next morning, early the next morning, where combined on this one truck, we would have done 800 miles in a total of about $2,200 in revenue. So if we do the math on how much per mile the truck made that day, we get $2.72 per mile. And because we utilize 2 drivers, on this lane, everybody is within their 11 hours of drive time, their hours of service. Nobody has run, has run illegal, and we've generated close to $2,200 for the day. Now, hopefully that dispels some of the skepticism in how you can do multiple loads in a day. Again, we're not talking about live loads and live unloads. There's other type of freight that happens that moves throughout the day that doesn't take a whole lot of time, in between the load and the unload that makes this possible. Now, how can you find lanes such as this? It's going to take, just some networking. And I say just networking, but that's actually, a very crucial part to being successful in the trucking business. So, you build relationships with these brokers out here, where you never know if you have a good rapport with a broker because you guys have done good business in the past. When things like this come across their desk, they're going to reach out to the carrier who they have a good relationship with and offer this to them first. So that's the first thing. It's, having good relationships and networking with brokers. Another way of making this possible is you have to have creative thinking and, some analytical skills. Now, there's some people out there, they would have been presented with an opportunity like this, but for whatever reason, for not having the analytical skills to do the trip planning and coordinating between drivers and using the same truck and things like that, they would not have been able to run these 3 loads in one truck with 2 drivers. And as you get better at putting together scenarios like this and filling in the blanks, connecting the dots, putting the pieces to the puzzle together, whatever, analogy you want to use, you'll become better at, putting together lanes like this and having days that are just as profitable, or if not more profitable than this. Now, hopefully this case study was able to shed some light on maximizing your truck's revenue for you guys out there who were getting tripped up on that and thinking it's not possible to do more than 1 load a day. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Like I said earlier, if you found this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and also leave a comment in the description box so we can help spread this message throughout the trucking community. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks again for watching.